Hi traders, welcome to the full market analysis. Before I go on, I want to talk about outside bars within gold on steroids, just to help you understand better about opportunities throughout the day. And I've been banging on about this for years, and to VIP members in the Telegram room, but there are opportunities throughout the day for gold, and I'm just going to squeeze this up a little bit so you can see these emojis as I show you these, so that you can actually view these exactly as I do when I'm at the charts. I'm not on my charts during the morning London Open, but nonetheless I'm here during the New York Open, and New York is not doing anything and the dollar is not doing anything, so it's a little bit frustrating, but nonetheless there are trading opportunities, and I'll show you those in the next few minutes. So what are outside bars? These are opportunities where the price has come into a very extreme position. This is better than Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are too infrequent. This is far, far better using the gold on steroids channel. So you can see this channel here, and while the price remains within this channel, then the price moves within it. That's how it works. However, when we get extreme liquidity and extreme price action, then these are great opportunities to get into positions at the very, very early stage. This was this morning at about 11:15. So if you see the price moving outside the channel, that's a great opportunity just to buy there and then, or sell there and then. We can see these. I put these on here just so you can see what that actually looks like, and I'm going to show you an opportunity, a strategy you can use immediately using this information. So once you see this happening, and it does happen frequently, not probably twice a day, very rarely any more than that, but certainly this one was, I can't see the time there, this was probably about 5 o'clock this morning, then got to about 10:30 London time, and then 11:20 we had an outside bar, and that's the thing you're looking for there. So buying into this area makes a lot of sense. There would be perfect with a 2-to-1 somewhere up there. Okay, so have a look at that and see what you think. Now what is the strategy once you see that happening? The strategy for me, quite straightforward, is that whenever I see an outside bar, I am looking for an entry to sell. So on the 5-minute chart, I have to see an outside bar here as well. If it's on an order block and it's got divergence, then even better. However, it's not absolutely essential. So what I would say is this is a perfect reversal point at this point here at 52.08, and then the price basically collapsed, didn't it? So from that position there, you're talking about a maximum of 500 pips. Okay, now in this terms of this position this morning, we had the outside bar here, and this is what happened, and the price came in at 51.58, currently 51.84. So we can see that at this point here we could have banked 332 pips. Now if you're going to bank 200 to 300 pips, that's way above the average true range. It's a good idea to take that off the table, because for it to go any more than that during the day is highly unlikely, or you're actually going to find that the average is you're going to make that money, and that's it. So if it moves 300 pips from here, let's do that and work that one out. So somewhere around there, and we're talking about 300 pips is there. Okay, so you would have banked 300 pips there. Now if you go for 200 pips, which is safer, somewhere around there, then of course you are going to get that money. But anything beyond that, if it goes 200, 300, 400 pips, now it did move that, but the chances and the probabilities of the price bouncing at some stage are quite high. So just bear that in mind. Go for the safer 200 to 300 pips is more than enough for anybody, or go 2 to 1. So just be sensible with it. Now the other option, of course, is just to hold it until you're happy, or until the price does an outside bar at the other end. That takes a lot of patience, and not many people can do that. Now, once I have the conditions correct on the 10-minute chart and the 5-minute chart, then I'm happy to go long if I'm there. If I miss it, then I can use this tool here when all the buyers step in. So once it all goes green, I'm happy to enter the market, and then the Heikin Ashi candlestick then goes green as well, and it starts to achieve higher highs. Okay, once it starts to achieve higher highs, it tends to do that for quite some time. So from that entry there, we can do a calculation. We can say that at 51.65, at that point there, we're going to go 2 to 1. So 169 pips is very reasonable. Now you can go for the swing high, which is there, 157 pips, which is safe, or you can go for the previous swing high, which is 299 pips. Okay, which is probably going to get hit in the next few hours anyway, but there's not much going on in terms of volume in the market. Now in terms of gold on steroids, which is what this is now, we can see that the price did break on an outside bar here, as you can see, onto a demand area. Now the demand area is actually not there at that moment, if you know what I mean. This has been repainted, so you have to work out whether it's on a demand area or not. So but nonetheless, it doesn't have to be on a demand area to be a buy. However, with our rules on gold on steroids, buy above the 50, buy above the 50, the two charts agree with you. Sell below the 50, sell below the 50, the charts, both charts agree with you. Now what we're seeing at the moment, we can see that the price is fallen below the 50 on the left and below the 50 on the right. But there's very little volume in the market, so we just have to bide our time. All right, so just a little tip there. Now what happens is, if the price comes down in the next few hours to this area, I'm going to be very interested in buying this up to 5,200. If it does, it may just drift along today. It seems like a funny old day. Trump's had his speech and very little reaction actually from that last night. So let's go into the market, shall we, and see what's going on elsewhere. It's running a bit slow. Let's go to the DXY just to show you what's happening. So let's go into the markets, have a look at the DXY. Get my big head out of the way. We can see that the price is highly likely to go up a little bit more, but it is hesitating, isn't it? As we can see in this chart here. Sorry, my connection's a little bit funny today. Just checking to make sure I'm still recording. Still recording. So we can see that the price is not going anywhere at all at the moment. Once the DXY is not clear in terms of direction, then of course all the dollar pairs will not be clear. The only one that is clear is the US yen, but that's a yen weakness trade, which I will go over in the next few minutes. So if I go through these charts slowly for you, because my connection's a little bit slow. We can see the euro dollar's moving down into demand. Not sure what's this pattern I like. The W pattern is I like this, but in order for us to be successful with a long trade on the euro dollar, we need to see the dollar weakening, which we're not yet. It's hitting a supply zone, but it's not weakening yet. I do have a potential buy trading idea on the pound USD. I'm just waiting for it to come down to 134.34. And that's a beautiful W pattern, which could be highly significant. So the dollar pairs, if I flick through, doing very little. The only one that is motoring is the yen, and the yens are making a ton of money. Beautiful. Just look out for this on the quant float. Just look out for price cycle, low into a demand area, buy. All dollar pairs at the yen are mixed, to say the least. One thing that is not mixed is the yen futures contracts. Now there's something going on here which is great, which is what I've talked about in the last few days, is it's now coming into a demand area. This could get wiped out easily. If it continues down, that's fine. And I do expect it to come down into 63.20, somewhere around that area there, which is fine because this will drive your yen pairs much, much higher. However, if this demand area bounces off here, then you're going to find that there is some kind of corrections across the yen pairs. Onto the yen pairs. Now the Swiss yen has been rallying. We had a beautiful price cycle down here. The buying opportunity, I did mention this in the VIP room. 202.90 is the target. However, it is now hitting a major supply zone on the daily chart. It's quite a wide gap there, but I think it will continue to 202.90, but it's going to hesitate a little bit. So 202.82 on the 4-hour chart, something like that. Now we had a profit on the Aussie yen, didn't we, in the last week or so, but have a look on the left. This is not looking, this could continue up, of course, but it's now hitting a very strong supply zone here. So a correction is highly likely. And if you look at the price cycle here on the 4-hour, this is a buying opportunity. And the price cycle at the moment is very, very high, so a correction is highly likely. But we could have had more profits, but we didn't. Euro yen much, much higher. Buying opportunity here into that demand zone. There is room for this to go higher. This is different. There is room for this to go higher. Have a look here. And you can see here target 185.57. So if we get another opportunity in the next couple of days for the price to come down into this demand area and bounce, and this to come down and bounce, then that will be absolutely heaven. New Zealand yen I'm still in, and the reason for this is because there is room for this price to go higher, as you can see on the left. Into this supply zone at 94, and we can see that there is a supply zone here at 94.50 as well on the 4-hour chart. This this consolidation period area is going to be very interesting for the price to actually reverse potentially, but this is looking really healthy actually. Canadian yen, I did exit this one, and I want to explain why. You can probably see why. On the left, we can see that the price has come into demand at 114.46 and is thinking about where to go next. It probably higher up into 115, but the probabilities actually are with price cycle is that the price is likely to do this somewhere and then start to go back up again. So that could be another trading opportunity in the next few days. But I'm happy to take that off the table. 231 pips with a 3.22 risk to reward. Very nice indeed. Congratulations if you traded that from the VIP room. Pound yen, I did put a signal into the VIP signals room. If you're not in that, then all the links are below. And we can see the price bounced off a very important trend line here on the daily chart. But there's room for this price. There's room for this price to go higher, isn't there? To 213.20. So we've got that target set. Actually, we're in a bit deeper there, so in the middle of that area there, into the supply zone. Again, we'll play it by ear. Price cycles suggest that the prices could have a pullback, and it probably will, but I'm happy to hold it for now. Pound Swiss had a beautiful bounce off the demand area on the left in the daily chart. I'm actually not looking for any other trades at the moment because there's not much going on, but the ones I've got I'm quite happy with. And we can see that the price, let's do this, came off of this very strong demand area here with a buy power of 65. So highly likely to bounce into and up to this area here, which is mid-range 105.84. Quick look at gold. Gold getting a bit higher, but not really much. Looks like it's going to be one of those days where things just drift along. But hopefully you found that useful in terms of outside bars. And hopefully you found that useful in terms of gold on steroids. Have a great day.